It's the third race that we're talking about now, the first leg of the Pick Six. It's a maiden plate where the field will race over 1,200 metres on the poly. At the early time of recording, scratched is number 2, McCartney, a big, beautiful son of Trippy. He raced just the other day at Hollywood Bet Scottsville. I had a good look at him. Wow, keep an eye on him for the future, especially when he goes over a bit of ground. He's an absolute cracker. So at this point in time, only 11 runners will go to the start and will race. But as we always tell you, ladies and gentlemen, keep an eye on your scratchings and on your equipment changes and on your betting moves so that, you can get all the right and correct information before taking your final bets. Race 3. Raheel, I remember talking to Garth Puller after Firu Star debuted 87 days ago, and he was thrilled with his performance and was quite upbeat about him as a horse, on a whole. The team with number 6, High Legislation, were also upbeat about him, being a horse to watch for the future. So Firu Star, High Legislation, certainly going to have chances. I'm expecting huge improvement from High Legislation. I'm expecting huge improvement from number 7, the Donnelly, who is from the Tinny Prinsloo stable, and they're hitting their straps in a big way now, is the stable of Tinny Prinsloo. Senor Garcia was a little disappointed with his last start. I thought he would do way better than that, especially after, his gelding. And over the page, 11, One Shot Wonder. Good effort last time behind Beyond the Boundary. So Senor Garcia and One Shot Wonder were in the same race that was won by Beyond the Boundary. Pine View is an interesting runner for me. Samango Kumalo rides for Nathan Kotson, 133 days since his last run. I want to keep an eye on the betting with this horse as we inch closer to race time because I think he could run well.
Yes, Pineview steps down and trip back to the 1,200 meters, which is interesting. So I'd like to see how he does go in this race, and he is drawn wide. So possibly a horse I think you can include into those quartets. I'm in the camp of the 4-horse Senor Garcia now. He was terribly disappointing last time out. He was fancied in the market, but he disappointed. He ran 8th, beaten 8 3/4 lengths, beaten by Beyond the Boundary. I think you can put a line right through that run. His 2 previous efforts after gelding were much improved runs. He finished second to all the time, has won, and he finished second to Winter Air, and he was drawn 12 on that occasion. He tries the poly track for the first time. He's neatly drawn, and I think that Senor Garcia, he can shed his maiden tag in this race. He's around 7-2 in the market, so I think he's a decent price. So I'm going to stick with him, and he's going to be my first choice. 4 tries over the distance for 2 good seconds, and I'm hoping that he can go close in this lineup. I respect the 5-horse Firu Star, cracking debut effort, beaten by Bugsy Malone. From the Bugsy Malone form line, Bugsy Malone has won again, A Time to Remember has won, Admiral Burnham, Over the Bay and Sanctity have all been subsequent winners. So the form line is working out really nicely, and Firu Star drops in trip, but could enjoy running over the 1,200 meter trip fresh. So I think that he's going to be right there. He's open to tons of improvements. So Firu Star is definitely one of the leading lights in this race, and he should be the favorite in this lineup, and I think that he can go close as well. So those will be my top 2. I think One Shot Wonder from the draw, he'll have to use himself a bit, but he can also run an honest race. 2 tries over the distance for 2/3. Last time out, he may have just cost himself the race. He shifted in badly onto another horse, and Beyond the Boundary came and ran on really nicely in the lineup to win the race. So One Shot Wonder must be respected, but I think that in terms of winning, maybe Senor Garcia and Firu Star could be the 2 to fight it out in this race. Warren, do you have a top choice in this race?
Yeah, I'm going with Firu Star, Raheel. Garth Puller's horse really motored home on debut. It was the 2nd fastest finishing, as you say. That form line is sparking up well. So yes, he is my narrow first choice. My numbers 5, 4, 11, 6 and 12. But yeah, I like you. I'm expecting a much better effort from Senor Garcia. Those 2 seconds when he was, after he was gelded were excellent efforts. But forgive him for his last run. They're entitled to throw you a bad run every now and again. So yeah, for me, I'm in the camp of Firu Star. You're in the camp of Senor Garcia. It's the first leg of the Pick Six. I suggest include 4 or 5 here because, of course, you don't want to go out at all, but let alone going out in the first leg.
My name is Beston. I live in Cape Town. Also, I do delivery. Interbet helped me to realize my dreams. Now I have my own delivery vehicle and I'm able to do the removal in and around Cape Town.